Hello guys, welcome back to some more Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord footage. We've got some more siege gameplay. This time we're on the defensive side and we've got a completely different castle from what we saw last time. I'm going to break down everything from the faction to the layout to every single bit. Oh, you fucking know. Actually, before I start, I want to say a few things. No, we do not have a release date yet. Number 2, we may be getting a public beta this year. Number 3, it's coming out next year. Now, shut up. Okay, so where do I begin? We start off, like last time, in the deployment stage. Sorting like where to put your men and where to put your siege equipment. And yes, you can put siege equipment on the walls. I said it. It's cool. It looks amazing. Something that I noticed actually is that there's two types of blisters here. We see a normal blister and then we see a blister with like a flame shot at the end of it. Obviously this would be more handy against siege equipment such as siege towers, which there is one in this battle, as well as the battering ram. It's actually placed on the right side, which is the opposite side to the siege tower. So I'm not sure that's the most wise place to put it, but I'm not going to question anyone. But anyway, now before we carry on with the video, let's talk about the two factions in this battle. The defenders are the Battanians. We've seen quite a bit of the Battanians. We saw a lot at the PC Gamer weekend. We got shown quite a lot actually, but we've actually seen them quite a while before that. We saw them in like sort of this stop motion. I think it was Blog 12 it was, and it was like a sequence of like 200 days, I think it was, of the settlement, and it actually gets taken over. So I'm not actually sure if this is that settlement. Now in this sequence, this Battanian settlement did actually get taken over. Now I can't tell if this is like a dark orange or a red, but if this is orange, then this very well may be that battle. Because the attacking faction in this battle is actually the Western Empire, which is the orange faction. And also, the Battanians are neighbours with the Western Empire. As you can see by here, the Battanians are green and the Western Empire, of course, are orange. So let's talk about the castle. It's very different to the one we saw last time. This one is made out of wood. This follows the sort of the culture of the Battanians, which are a Welsh sort of slash Celtic style of faction. As you can see, lots of leather, and compared to the Western Empire, they're nowhere near as like heavily armoured. I also really like where the castle is placed. It's like in between two mountains, like the last one we saw. It was like just in like an open field or slash hill, but this one is like in between two mountains, and yeah, I think it's really cool. It definitely it's gonna be nice, you know, fighting all these different, you know, types of castles. But anyway, so in this gameplay, we head to the right side first, where the men are trying to use the ladders to climb the walls. We also see our dude, who has, by the way, amazing hair. It reminds me a lot of Braveheart. Hack him down as they try and get up. As you see, the ladders aren't so effective, but after that, we move on to the other side. Just before we head over towards the battering ram, we see an enemy catapult just fire over and just barely misses the men on the wall. That would have been a disaster. Anyway, so we look at the battering ram, and you actually see parts of the battering ram like getting destroyed. You can definitely tell there were, you know, sort of like defensive barriers on top of it, but as you can see, over time they're getting broken down, and that means like the people pushing it have no defense, meaning like your archers are just going to pick them off one by one, and that's exactly what this guy does. Now it's time to look at the siege tower, which is getting very close to the walls. So Ginger Braveheart starts taking some shots to try and slow it down. We head over there, we take a look at our catapult. It's looking very good. We get closer, but before it actually hits the walls, we take a look at sort of the gatehouse. Underneath, we see the men have pushed through the first bit of the gate, and as we know, there's sort of two gates. There's like the main gate, which the battering ram breaks down, and then there's like a secondary gate, which your men hack down because it's obviously not as strong. So we take some shots there, and something really cool, actually, like, I knew this was a feature because we've seen it before, but I completely forgot about it. You could actually pick up items and throw them. Amazing. So for this we see rocks, but of course, you know, this could be anything. This could be like wildfire. No, okay, let's keep to Bannerlord. You know, pots of fire though. You know, explosions. You know, grenades. No, okay, that's a bit too far. But it's really cool, and you see the impact. Obviously, that's gonna hurt. That's you know, it's really gonna hurt. It's gonna be a massive headache. But yeah. Anyway, so now we do head over to the siege tower, and it's already dropped, but the men on the wall are, you know, they're holding their ground, and they actually prove to be quite strong, and after a matter of seconds, they're actually all dead, so good job by them. So as soon as the siege tower failed, Ginger Braveheart commands his men by swinging his axe in the air, looks really cool, and tells his men to go down to the gate, which obviously is where the main threat is at, and yeah, really cool. Swish, swish, swish. Next up, we're going to be holding the gate against what's left of their army, basically, because we killed them on the ladders, we killed them on the siege tower, and now we got to basically just hold off what's left of their army. And this is pretty grim, you know, lots of close quarter fighting. You know, anyone who's played Warband knows it's a bit awkward. Bots always in your way. It's kind of hard to swing your weapons sometimes because you get, you know, blocked. And anyway, so as you can see, he's sort of holding the shield out in a cool position, which I like, sort of like, you know, stopping your friend in front from retreating, like, you know, literally fight or die. So after a while, Ginger Braveheart makes it to the front line, and you see some cracking shots with his, like, axe hammer thing he's got. Oh my god, you know, I would hate to be the enemy right now. And then after a bit more fighting, they eventually win, and they chase off what's left of the army. Pretty brutal stuff, you know, even pulls up the bow to shoot some down because fuck you, that's why. And then of course, at the end of the battle, press tab to finish, or in this case, press tab to view results. I like how tab is still there. We love you, tab. You know, you're the button we always press at the end of a great battle. And then it's back, you know, we're going to be pressing it even more. So as you can see, these are the battle results. You can see all the kills by this, and this is really cool actually, because before you would only sort of see like the deaths, like who would die. You would see like companions and other lords, like how many kills they would get, but it's nice to see like all the kills, and all the deaths, all the wounded, all the retreated from each unit. Definitely the kind of information which is helpful, I think, and it's going to make the battles a bit more interesting, I think, at the end. You know, see who did what, and finding out which troops are more effective overall in different situations. And anyway, so now I'm going to talk about what I think. I think this is absolutely amazing. I think the lighting is insane. The last battle we saw was pretty grim, very cloudy. So we didn't see much of that, you know, beautiful lighting which we have been seeing over the last few months and in the last few blogs as well. You know, just the reflections, the shadows, the lights. I can't actually speak, but you know, you can tell by my excitement of how beautiful this is and how excited I am to record this. You guys know how much Mountain Blade means to me. It's a game which I've fallen in love with. It's let me show my passion and love in the game. Gives you that, you know, Mountain Blade is one of those games that gives you the freedom to do whatever you want, and that's what I love. And I can't wait to show you all the amazing stories and ideas I've got for Bannerlord. It's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait for the mods as well. But at this stage, you know, the game itself is just mind-blowing. And of course, guys, this is work in progress. They even said this is not what the game's going to look like. Obviously, it's going to look a lot like this, but they still got a bit of polishing to do. So it's going to look absolutely fantastic. Before we end this, actually, something I was meant to say before, actually. Just the first opening image of the battle, or like, you know, just the battlefield, it just looks amazing. You can tell that this is going to be a battle. This is going to be a big siege. And yeah, anyway, guys, I gotta go. Let me know what you think. As always, guys, whenever I make a video about Bannerlord, I always encourage you to drop down a comment, because everyone watching here is a Mountain Blade fan. Well, it depends if you're a sub or not. If you're a sub, you're a Mountain Blade fan, and we love to have discussions in the comment section. So feel free to join. You know, things that you didn't like, things that you did like. I'm sure there's lots of things you did like. And yeah, so guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'm not sure what we'll get next. Hopefully we do get a beta this year. Fingers crossed. They said maybe, but of course, guys, I know a lot of you are like, oh, I wish we could just get a bloody release date. I wish the game could just be released. You gotta appreciate Tailworlds. They're taking their time. You know, they want this game to be as good as we do. So, you know, don't be mean, okay, guys? Take care, and I'll see you next time. News. Today we have an article posted by PC Gamer. I saw this this morning. I had to go to work. I had to go to work thinking about this.